First crossing, another few Ks till we get to it, but a proper high country trip.
First time in here.
Taking him into some old stomping grounds.
Absolutely. Very excited for it. Let's see how we go.
Yeah, we've made it a whole kilometre into this 10-kilometre hike and we're already stopping to have tiny teddies. So.
Haven't been up in the high country this season yet, so it's good to get out. Work our way downstream over this big ridge and camp out for 2 nights and fish over the next 3 days.
Eat tiny teddies and catch fish.
That's all we're thinking of doing, tiny teddies and fish. Perfect weather for it.
Stunning. Already saw a hopper, that means I'm just fishing hoppers flat chat.
Right.
It's way too early for hoppers, I'm just going to commit, I don't care.
Yeah.
Commitment is key.
No, it should be fun. See what happens.
Bit of bashing. There was a nice open way, but we thought, you know, that's not fun. Where's the fun? Live a little. In about 2 or 3 years since I've been in here, made it to camp. Ridge line. Woo! Worth it. Oh, I think we're gonna go for a swim first. You don't want to get to the spot and start fishing straight away. You got to cool your jets. You know, have some noodles. Go for a swim.
What is thinking going through his head right now is, who's going to put the first fish on deck? I'm thinking it's going to be me. He's thinking it's going to be him. After a pretty taxing hike in, it was good to get some flies in the water. I was throwing around a dry dropper to start with. Mickey was throwing a single dry around. We threw a few streamers as well, but with no success, it was time for a dip.
I think I'm going right here.
Next on the agenda, it was time to find a flat spot and set up camp for the night.
What's going on with Mickey's tent situation?
Somebody never learned how to read.
No, I just don't know how to use this tent.
They're both great tents, it's just a little trickier for some people.
Super stable. It's not going anywhere. Oh, there it goes.
With camp finally set up, I couldn't help myself but to go for one final flick for the evening. And with this being the second fish of the day, I wasn't about to let this one go.
I've done it again. I've taken a stack in the water. Oh. That is the hardest I've ever worked for a small fish in my life. Little brownie to kick things off. I've absolutely risked life and limb. I've fallen over like 5 times. You just saw me fell over again. Not a good start from P. Ryan. But a fish nonetheless, and a brown trout. Start the trip.
And it's just buzzed downstream, so I'm like, oh yeah.
So as soon as you hooked it, I said to Dean, I was like, oh, it's running downstream, so it's a good fish. It's running down.
It was like that big. But it was a brown fish. And I like brown fish.
I overcommitted to noodles. Hold on, now I'm being attacked by ants. It's all happening. Oh my God, ow.
This guy can't set up a tent, can't hold his noodles properly, can't catch a fish, and they call him the Finn. Having a bunch of fun, can't really ask for a better spot. It's chilled off now, the sun's dipped down behind the hill. Yeah, early night, I think we're all pretty knackered, so get into it tomorrow morning. And
I'm mainly tired from setting up the tent.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. Love waking up to a frost. It looks unbelievable, but putting on wet wading gear on the next morning is a bit of a task. The old frozen wet wade socks. Alrighty. Now on the morning of day 2, we hiked downstream a fair way to fish back up to camp. Beautiful scenery through the gorge there. Some of the most amazing country I've ever fished in. Turned out it was a lot further than we initially thought. A lot of hiking, a lot of scrambling. This spot was supposed to be just around the corner, but the corners just kept on coming and we were hiking well into the morning. But with scenery like this, there were no complaints from us. First snake of the trip, little copperhead.
Out again. That's number 2 of the slippery fellows for the trip. That is awesome!
No way, dude!
It's been there for a while, it's worn down, but that's a proper samperhead.
Yeah, dude! How good's that?
Oh man! That's got to be a good 3 or 4 years old. Like, look how it's all worn through in there. Even when you're not on a hunting trip, you can still get trophies. I just need like an 8-pound brown and I'm set for the rest of the season. Got like 300 meters and we're in.
Getting itchy to fish now.
Yeah, boy.
Cross.
Yeah.
A lot further from here.
Smashed it down. Gave ourselves a lot of water to cover today. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit further down than I thought on the map, so you know, we pushed it, but worth it.
Now once we started fishing, it took us a few pulls to get into the rhythm of things, and we were putting some great casts in, but we still couldn't manage to move any fish. Luckily though, just around the corner, Mickey was up high and spotted a cruising brown on a beat, and I was up for the cast.
So if you come up at least with that rock, or you could go further and take a knee in the next one. See the big rock that's kind of diamond shaped?
Yep.
He's just off the back right edge of it.
Yep.
You can see his pecs. He's moving left and right, he's feeding. He's dropping back, he's dropping back. Coming towards you. Take a knee. Hit him! Oh! Busted you.
Yep.
There he goes, Dean, look at him. Look at him shoot downstream. Big fucker.
Oh, we're setting up on these fish after I monumentally stuffed it up there and fell over like an idiot.
Much further than that.
He somehow came back, popped the dry up there. He was upstream, he'd moved further up, put a cast in there where he was originally. He's circled back down, completely bypassed the nymph, smacked the dry, strike, busted him. Busted the knot. Don't know what to tell you. It's alright. Good signs though. I'll tie a better knot this time and we'll keep on keeping on. And I was not feeling the love on the old hopper dropper. So, Mickey's clipped the dropper off. He's just got a single dry on because that fish that I missed before did eat the dry. So we'll keep one of those in the mix. But I'm going to just indicate a nymph that runs behind him. So we're fishing 2 different methods. Searching for them, seeing what's what. Soft tackle, heavier tungsten nymph on the point there. And I'm going to put a little hairs here, variation on the dropper. This is what caught that little guy last night, and I'm going to put that on the dropper a little bit higher up.
need a net hand, Pat. That was such a nice thing. Yeah. That pissed him off. Go hard. Yes!
Finally!
Oh, we worked for that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Worth it though.
Yeah,
That's such a pretty fish. Not many of these so far as we've seen.
No, that's it.
I have to say, the one that busted you off is a tiny bit bigger, full of energy, and on the hopper. Oh,
Worked hard for it, my friend.
we only walked about 87 kilometres for that thing.
Alright, see if we can get a few more.
That's it. We're starting to find little pods of them. I reckon it's going to happen now.
With Mickey's newfound confidence after landing a nice brownie on a hopper, we pushed on round the corners, but it turns out that I'd used up my one chance for the day. And just like that, we found ourselves back at camp, unfortunately, empty-handed. I've had a terrible day. There's ants in my wading socks now. I've had a terrible day. I lost a fish that was at least 1.5 pounds.
But you had
Nothing else.
You had moral support, and you had fun.
I'm joking. It was fine. It was fine. Nah, not our day. Oh, mate. Certainly a lot colder than the first night. Got a big old frost this morning. The sun hasn't quite poked through yet.
Well, this was our biggest trophy from yesterday. We're going to leave it here marking this camp, so if you come and find it, you know where we were. I'll stick it up someplace cool.
Fishing on day 3 found us absolutely getting belted by wind, and to be honest, morale was a little bit low given the success we'd had up to this point, but we weren't about to give up just yet, so we pushed on upstream with a couple of streamers. Just as we were about to pull the pin and hike out with our tails between our legs, Mickey was on. Now, it's no lie that this trip has been a bit tougher than anticipated. It's definitely one for the books. But at the end of the day, numbers don't make or break a trip. It's always these harder trips that stick with you, and to that fish that got away, eat up, big boy, I'll be back for you next season.